When preparation meets opportunity, so the saying goes, that's what a lot of people call success. You don't
True.
get where you are without a lot of drive. From where does this come? I mean, you obviously have a drive to succeed.
I think it was, I did a lot of things when I was younger, whether that was, I played football in high school, wasn't very good at that. I tried to do a lot of things in my life, and I had been singing ever since I was a little kid, as long as I can remember. Since I could talk, really, I was just singing, and something that I just kind of enjoyed to do, and felt like I was pretty good at, and it made me happy to do that, and so I just kept doing that for a long time, and by the time I got into college, I didn't want to pursue a career in, becoming a music teacher. My high school chorus teacher, who is, we're still very close to this day, she always told me, don't get a degree in music if you can see yourself doing anything else. And so I kind of took that to mean, well, the only option to pursue music as a career is to become a music teacher, which I didn't want to do. I've never been very good at the technical aspect of music, as far as reading music and composing music. I'm just not very technical in that sense, I guess. And when I was 21, I was kind of, petering out of my time at Appalachian State University. And, I wasn't the best student. I didn't apply myself as much as I probably should have, and definitely as much as my parents would have wanted me to. But I picked up the guitar at 21 years old and had been singing my whole life, and those two things kind of met, and that was it. I realized that this was kind of the thing that I felt like I was meant to do, and the thing that I wanted to do. And I played my first show, and I made $200 charging $1 a ticket at the door, and I realized that was more money than I made at both of my jobs that week. And so then I was like, well, that's all right. If I can do something that I love to do and people want to show up and I can get paid for it, then that's pretty solid. So once I figured that out, man, there was no stopping me.
There's so much in that, and in general, I want to talk to you about. Let me pick up on something you said. You said you'd been singing ever since you could remember.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of songs did you sing as a child? Were you active in church? Did you sing church songs? What kind of music did you sing?
I was just singing really anything that was on the radio in my mom's car or my dad's car. The things I can remember singing first are probably Vince Gill, Brooks and Dunn, and those were the two prominent things going on in my mom's car. And my dad's car was always more Tracy Chapman or bluegrass, or really anything but country is what my dad listens to and listened to growing up. There's always music playing in our house. So I just kind of sang along to those things. It just kind of came naturally, I guess.
Well, when I was coming up, if Hank Williams or Ernest Tubb didn't sing it, I didn't know it. But that apparently was not the case with it. When did you come on to country music?
Well, I loved listening to it with my parents, with my mother particularly when I was little. When we lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, I lived there until I was 8, and then me and my parents moved to Asheville, North Carolina. In those first 8 years of my life, my mom pretty much exclusively listened to country music. Vince Gill was my first concert, Brooks and Dunn, Garth Brooks, Clint Black. I mean, that was all that was on. And then when we moved to Asheville, Asheville's a bit more of a progressive city than, Charlotte is. And so there's not a huge base for country music in kind of the heart of Asheville itself. And I got out of country music when I moved to Asheville with my parents, just because when you're 8 years old, you listen to what your parents listen to. You don't really have your own taste or affinity towards any certain kind of music, I guess, at that point. And so I got out of it, and then I rediscovered my love for it when I was probably 18 years old. When I went to college is when I kind of rediscovered my love for country music.